Hey Joe, how you doing? Can you hear Angela? I'm just leaving her live right now, so we'll give him a few minutes. Did you get that she shed all done up? I haven't been online for a couple of days too much. I'm trying to keep up on things, but we've got canning projects and gardening projects, and after our 90-degree weather last week, we finally got down into the 60s. And you know what that means? 60. It's the way to go. See if people come on in here. How are the piggies? I do watch all of your shorts because that's nice and easy. Are they healthy? Are they doing well? That's something I've always wanted to do, is to have pigs and farm animals, but the older I get, the harder it's going to be to put them in the put them in the freezer. I'd probably just want to love on them all the time. Here's mine. Got Rocky. He's my rooster, and I never need to cook him. Have you done any fishing? Oh, you got another pig today. I will go check out her short. You know what? We've got a couple minutes here, so you know what? I'm gonna go find it right now, and I'll put a link in here. That'll be fun. Hey Joe, would you want to ever be a mod for me? It's totally up to you. Hey, hi Budget Prepper. Nice to see you. Thank you. Let me know, and if so, I'll make it so for just such an occasion. We're just gonna wait for a couple of minutes, Budget Preppers. That was pretty cool about your chickens, though. I think that was you talking about that. Hey, Suburban Hillbilly. Thank you, Joe. JJ, hey, Derek, could you make Joey? Oh, he's doing it right now. He's at his computer and I'm behind him at mine. He's going to see what he can do. How you doing, Derek? Man, you guys, hey, Renee. Hey, everybody's coming in. Thanks, guys. You know, yesterday's game night was hilarious on Kettle Kitchen. Watching all you guys and in the chat, it's so much more fun sometimes to be in the chat and have a good old time with the with all of the songs and everything. If you are, oh, thanks, Budget Preppers. That's very nice of you. If you haven't watched Game Night at Kettle Kitchen, it is just hilarious. It's so much fun. And right now, it's focused on music. And there's some pretty, you only get like 8 seconds, and you have to be able to identify the song. And it's just a lot of fun and super, super interactive for the See, this is weird. I'm sitting here looking at you. So, Renee, do you have a wrench? Are you a mod for me?
She is.
JJ says you are, and I just don't see it on mine. It doesn't mean anything. So I guess I'm going to say right now, thank you, mods. I appreciate your help. And Joey is too. Yeah. Game night last night was stinking hilarious. I'm telling you. Thanks, Renee. Thanks, Joey. If you guys have a minute, go and look. Kettle Kitchen has I think we're gonna do like basically a playoff next Tuesday, May 9th at 4 p.m. Pacific time. And it is about one of the most fun, about an hour and a half. Sometimes it can go up to 2 hours because it gets a little raucous in there, but it is just a lot of fun. And then if you also like playing games, another fun trivia thing is to go, hey, Yay! I know. I told you in her thing, I want to come over and have some. I'll bring the coffee. I just don't know if the plane will get there fast enough. Uh, 2 wrenches. I like that. One in each hand. Anyway, Dale and Nana at 9 Acre Family Farms does like a trivia game, and it too is just so much fun. So if you're new and you haven't seen it, specific time, Derek, yeah. I love it when people say Pacifically. I'm like, really? Is it that peaceful? Just kidding. Anyway, oh God, that's hilarious. Dale and Nana at 9 Acre Family Farms. Go check them out tomorrow at 4:00 because that too is just a hoot. And Joey, if you want to drop a link for that short from the pigs today, I would most appreciate that. Okay, let me see anybody coming in. No, okay, we have everybody. No way you do not. Okay, we need pictures of that. We need pictures of that. What kind of monkey? And is it difficult? Does it have to wear a diaper? Could do a whole thing on that. I did used to always want to have a monkey. I thought it'd be so much fun, but I hear that it's a lot of work because they have lots of energy.
Don't forget Nessa's nut.
And Nessa, hey Nessa, thank you for coming in. Hi. Okay, you guys. Oh yeah, okay. They do Ollie the Monkey. Is that on a YouTube channel? Because I'm going to go check that out. That's really awesome. Hey, Angela. Thank you for coming in and thanks for the shout out today. I appreciate it. I think we have enough people today. And I'm hoping that everybody is going to want to take part in this chat. I don't know if I'm going to do this on a regular basis, but I've been kicking around on the first Wednesday of the month, maybe doing like personal values. I was going to do kindness, but I couldn't find the picture I wanted for my thumbnail. And I had this exact photo in my head. I did find it, but it was too late. So what I wanted to do was talk about honesty. And the reason is just because it's more of a personal thing than, other people. Because I think sometimes, or at least for me, over the past maybe 2 months, I get really excited and you're going to laugh, Budget Prepper. I do sometimes get called Jojo the Monkey Boy by my husband because I chase squirrels. And so I'll get really excited about things and I'll jump in like 100% without taking a step back, thinking about other obligations, limitations, any other things that may or may not need to take place. And so in that respect, I didn't feel like I was being honest with myself. Budget Prepper integrity is absolutely going to be one of our core values that I want to talk about. Thank you. I love that one. For honesty, I mean, I looked it up and the definition of honesty is the quality of being honest. And honest, the definition I found by Dr. Google, is free of deceit and untruthfulness, sincere. So that's what I was kind of thinking really quickly for myself was sincere, being sincere to myself and being honest about what those capabilities are. Because when you're not honest with yourself, even with the best of intentions, I feel like you're being dishonest to the others around you, not purposefully and not to be deceitful, but when you say that you're going to do something, you have to follow through, right? And if you didn't think it through before you answered and said yes, now you're being dishonest. So it's kind of a mad little circle. And I have seriously been working on that with myself lately because I just basically get really enthusiastic and overload myself. And then I get nothing done. And I don't like that feeling. So Budget Prepper. Yeah. See, yeah, I like that too. and you stretch yourself very thin. See, and I am very famous for that. Um, but it is what it is. And I guess the best thing we can do is to identify it and then work on it, right? So I think like what I'm going to start trying to do is actually say, that sounds like a lot of fun. Let me check my calendar. It's not hard to do that. I do it at work all the time. But then in my private life, I'm like, I just want to do everything and be everything for everybody. And you can't do that. It's not sustainable. And then you end up becoming, or I feel like I look flaky by not doing that. So that's something I'm going to work on for the next month. And another thing with honesty for me was thinking about being true to yourself. If let's go back to when we were kids, right? And I'm old. Okay, I'm old. So all the kids would be riding their bikes around, and we go on a busy street, and there'd be a group of like 12 kids, maybe we were like 10 to 13 years old. And you're riding down the street, you don't have you're riding without your hands, and you're having a good old time. And you're doing things you shouldn't be doing, and better. And then back in the day, before you got home, your mother had 4 phone calls from all the neighbors that saw the kids doing their shenanigans. And your mother would say, if your friends all jumped off a cliff, would you do it too? And those words always come back to me, though. If I see something and I think, I don't know if I would do that, I have an internal struggle. Do you want to talk to the people about it? Do you want to ask people about it? Or do you just keep your mouth shut? And if you keep your mouth shut, does it eat on you? Because you don't want to do that either, right? If you have a concern, and maybe it's coming with age and wisdom, or maybe it's not the best thing. So I'd like you guys, hey, Canadian Family Live, thank you for coming in. If it's coming from a good place in your heart, I think that we should maybe bring it up. It's just, how do you do it tactfully and without hurting somebody's feelings? Because if you're a peacemaker like I am, I don't like confrontation at all. I get weak in the knees when I hear people yelling at each other, even if I don't know them. And it's somewhere where you're at a park, maybe, and somebody's having an argument about a basketball or something. I get really, really nervous with that. So you can imagine that. God, I am kind of watching this right here, and this is going to be hilarious. Angela, see, yes. Okay, my husband is sitting there laughing. So he's reading you could put stuff up, JJ, couldn't you? You can put up the funny stuff, and then we can just keep talking. And here, somebody's going to trip Ginger. Oh, good Lord. You guys are hilarious. See, that is exactly me right there. And by the way, I really like that cool, neat logo you have going on there. I love round logos. Just love them. Totally chasing a squirrel on that one, guys. And yes, on the commitment. See, and so if I don't meet a commitment on time, even, it's just I almost paralyzed myself. And I was just wondering if that's something that everybody runs into, because I know that my husband is really good about taking a step back before committing to anything and thinking about all of the different things surrounding a request or an idea. I'm also very good with ideas, and then the follow through can be pretty tough sometimes. And then Angela says, I'm big on following through with commitments to others, not myself so much. And sometimes I will do that. I will not do the things I need to do around my house or yard or garden in order to go do, sometimes, this is weird, to go help a person do the very same things I'm neglecting at my own house, at their house, to help them. And I've got to get out of that. And I just don't know quite how to do it. So, Any ideas in the chat? Yes, you put yourself in front or behind everybody else. So I don't know. It's just something that has really been weighing heavy on my heart lately. And, if I see wrong, do I mention it? Or do I just let it go and let whoever is doing something that I question continue doing what they want to do? Because, you do you, boo, right? So it's just kind of tough, kind of an internal struggle. Let's see. I think I'm kind of done talking about honesty. I did go in, and there's like a couple of places that I went online, and I was reading about that too, and it made my heart happier. Sometimes I'll go into the Bible and try and find something, just like look it up by keyword and then go read and study on that. But I think other religions like Buddhism and stuff too, they have some pretty valid points. So I like to kind of look at everybody's ideas and how it fits into their beliefs and everything. So if we don't have any comments about honesty in here, we could talk about gardening a little bit. Let's be honest about our weather. We've gone from 90 to 60. It sounds like all of our friends in Michigan, many of them had snow a couple of days ago. If you're in Michigan right now, if you want to let us know how your gardens are going. We planted 4 tomato plants has it been 2 weeks now, JJ? 2 weeks ago? This weekend?
What's that?
Tomatoes?
That was last weekend, right?
Yeah, it might have been. No, it was 2 weeks ago. And then we also planted some basil. And if you're new to this channel, we have zone 9B, and we're in the Central Valley of California. So we have long growing seasons. And I think our biggest detriment is actually the heat in the summertime. The sun can scald, peppers and tomatoes. So we have to kind of be careful about where we plant those. If you want things like artichokes and blueberries, they have to be heavily shaded in the afternoon. And so we did plant some. Oh, Joe, thank you. A little bouquet of flowers there. Roses grow fantastically here in the valley. I picked these. We have lavender plants, and our roses are going great guns. And I can't remember what else I picked. Anyway, it smells really good. All I have to do is buy the baby's breath over at Trader Joe's, and that's easy. But we do grow a lot of flowers. We have a lot of citrus. And if I don't get out to the lemon and lime trees, like probably tonight, and get some stream of it or some footage, everything's already going to fruit. Our apple blossoms are almost completely done. And so the apples are already starting to form. We have 80 heads of garlic that I think, what do we have? Maybe a month, 5 weeks before we can harvest. JJ?
What's that?
How long before we can harvest the garlic?
It'll be a little while.
Mid-June, I think.
Yeah.
We should be growing soft neck garlic, but all we could get was hard neck, and we said, you know what? That'll be good enough for us. Thank you very much.
The fridge will be just fine.
Yeah, we put them in the fridge and chilled them for like 2 months. And we'll freeze dry some of that, turn it into powder. We will mince some and freeze dry that. But as much as I can use right out of the garden, I'm on it as soon as we dry it out. Oh, Derek, air fryer chicken tenders. That sounds so good. Hey, Dark Lord Minute. How are you? Thank you for visiting. We also have onions. We have yellow, red, and white onions that we planted in February. And we have about 100. I think we planted like 124, but we have about 100 left. Something was eating the tops of them, and I really don't know what it was. But they are starting to get scapes on top, so I'm excited about those. Hey, Nana, how you doing? Thank you for popping in. I appreciate it. We're talking gardening. We're done with honesty because everybody honestly didn't want to talk about it. Sorry, I wish I had a little ding, ding, ding for that one. Anyway, I'm trying to think of what else. We got a raised bed, and we are going to be putting that up. We will do a video with that. And the broad fork that we recently got because we're trying to do no-till gardening. We've been saving every box that we can get our hands on that doesn't have shiny graphics on it, and then you have to take the tape off as well. And you lay that on the ground, put some mulch over the top, and just let nature take its course. And I did a live a couple of Saturdays ago and lifted up the cardboard that was on the bed that we ended up putting tomatoes in. And the biodome, everything underneath the cardboard, the plants were dead. We had nut grass, nut sedge, which is horrible. And then we also had just tons and tons of little tiny worms. I can't tell you how many worms we had. It was very, very cool. So that is our major garden thing. We were gifted 13 raspberry plants, and they are now blossoming. They're supposed to be really sweet, and they'll be ready in July, early July. We have blackberries, same thing. And the blueberries, we had to take all of the buds off this year because the plants are only like 6 inches tall. So we're going to let them get some strength before we allow them to fruit for us. But I think we also planted a Granny Smith. And did we get any buds on the Granny Smith this year? I don't think we did. Yeah, we just planted a Granny Smith. So we'll probably get some apples from her in about a year or two. And I'm excited about that because I want to preserve them and make pie of pies. So does anybody have anything they want to talk about? Evidently, placement of plants. Yes. Ginger did set you straight. She goes underneath your deck and does some pretty darn neat videos about how they're being protected. Hey, Dawn, how are you doing? Dawn Ray B is an avid gardener. And I love your videos, Dawn. I really do. The placement of the plants, in fact, just Sunday on Kettle Kitchen, we were talking about microclimates. And it was funny because the idea was to talk about microclimates in a kind of a general sense, like in a neighborhood or a region. And when I think about microclimates, I honestly think about it being in our actual yard. Like, where can I grow artichokes? I couldn't put them on a south-facing unprotected area, definitely. And I couldn't, by the same token, where I put my blueberries and my artichokes, tomatoes wouldn't do very well because they wouldn't get enough sunlight during the day in the summertime. So it's super important, I think. And I don't think she's stalking you. And what do we have here? Everything is in pots. Oh, hey, that's a lot of work. And if I'm not mistaken, you're in Nevada, so you get a lot of heat too in the summertime. So get it done while you can. I'm telling you, right? I know you know the struggle. Joey, I am the person who used to do exactly what you did, and I just couldn't figure out why we were losing. Like, we planted 3 blueberry plants many, many moons ago, and they were just out there in the wide open. And I'm like, well, why are they dying? Well, they were pretty much getting baked in the summertime. So live and learn, I suppose, or watch videos and read a lot because it makes such a difference. Oh, wow. Okay. So you guys have all kinds of stuff going on. I don't envy you. Although weddings are fun if you just get to go visit. Hi, Kelly. Okay, let's see here. You've got a question. If you want to grow basil for bees only, how can you take care of them and what would encourage them to flower?
Eat.
Heat, lots of sun. Make sure that you give them deep water. Call your friend Michelle and ask her to come over and check it out for you before you plant it. But what is it that you put on the plants? JJ is the feeder of plants. Michelle is, if I stick you in the ground and I give you water and you don't give me something, I'm not your best friend anymore. But he's really, really good about reading up on what kind of food different plants need. So do you have any kind of advice for like what do you put on the basil? You really don't put anything. We just keep it watered, really, and let the tomato plants kind of give it shade in the afternoon. But the bees love them. You could give them a little bone meal and blood meal, but if you have a dog named Crichton, keep the dog named Crichton away from the blood meal and bone meal. The what?
Especially the blood meal because they want to eat it.
The blood meal. The animals really, our dogs love to eat blood meal. So when we put it in the ground, we have to be very, very careful and watch them until it's kind of dissipated a little bit. And yes, exactly right there, Dark Lord Minute. That is exactly what to do. Same with, that's what I do with my lavender. That's what we do with all of our mint. I don't really grow mint to eat it, although when I'm out in the garden, I might grab a leaf and stick it in my mouth or something because it tastes good. But I just grow it for the seed in a little bed where it can't leach out or anything. And we've had them for 20 years, I think, almost 20 years, and we don't have any issues with mint going anywhere. Basil needs shade to keep cool. Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. But if she wants it to seed, that's what I was kind of getting at. If she wants it to seed to go for the bees, then keeping it in full sun. If I'm not mistaken, Kelly, you two are in zone 9B. And so if she did keep it that way, it would totally work for what she wants to do. And good point, Suburban Hillbilly. Don't harvest that basil if you want it to go to seed. Ours goes out of control pretty quickly. I usually keep 2 or 3 in the garden. We'll plant like 6, and we'll keep 2 or 3 in the garden that we just let go crazy, and then we keep the other ones trimmed up and use them when we want to make like some pesto or something. And we have a fence too, but our yard is kind of narrow. And so where the flowers are, JJ heavily feeds the flowers. And that if we put a fence in that actual area, it would really cordon off the yard. And I don't think I would care for my roses as much if it had a fence by it. So I'm going to put all these tips out. You guys have really, really good ideas. Kelly, I hope you're watching this. I have not done mojitos yet. I need to try those. That's where you muddle the, is that where you muddle mint or do you muddle the basil? Sounds good though in the summertime, right? That'd be really good. Oh wow. Okay, we had a pig fight earlier today. So I need to go watch that. I don't know if Joe was able to drop a link to it or not. So go over to Not for Nothing Homestead, and Not for Nothing Homestead actually when you're spelling it out, and go check out her shorts. They undoubtedly to me have the best shorts, and so does Joe Fix It For You. You guys are hilarious. I just love everything you do. Let's see. I think I've put most of these things in here. I just want to check that. Okay. Now I know that most everybody is starting to go to raised beds from what I've seen as well. And I am very, very happy with raised beds, just not having to bend over the older I get, because like if my garden's on the ground and we still have many, many in-ground beds, I just scoot my rear end across the ground, and by the end of the day it looks like I had an accident in the garden, but I swear I haven't. And I have to remember not to run up to Home Depot without changing before I leave the house. The struggle's real. Yeah, Kelly, I would suggest doing that. Harvest them, maybe rotate your harvests or something and let some of them go to seed. JJ's watching Ginger's short right now. Can you post that, honey? We're going to post that for you. I don't purposefully let my stuff go to seed. I just forget about it. And then, yes, the bees will take care of them. And then if you have other vegetables, the bonus is that you've got the bees going around them. And let's see. Oh, good. Yeah. We got a bookshelf to organize all of our gardening and cookbooks. And we had to move it from one place to another, and then into the house and around the corners. And you know the story. And I'll tell you what, it was like all day Sunday, we just had to like take ibuprofen and drink tons of water. Let's see here. Thank you, JJ. Okay, so go check out that short, everybody. So lemon balm is a natural mosquito repellent. Ginger, you need to just have your own gardening channel, man. That's awesome. And I bet it smells good too, the lemon balm. Another plant I really like the smell of is creeping thyme as like a ground cover. And when you walk on it, it smells like Italian food. It is the most awesome ground cover, you guys, if you need it. Let me see here. Sorry, guys. Okay, somebody was telling us how. Okay, Suburban Hillbilly. So I'm going to go backwards. And Angela. Okay, good. Okay, so you're not sure. Oh, but it has mint and cucumber. Okay. Muddle mint and lime. Add rum and club soda. Oh, wow. Did they have to add the rum so that the pirates and everybody on the ship would actually drink the lime? That's a good idea, though. And for like scurvy and stuff, I guess you could just like throw any kind of juice, just juice it on up. But that does sound actually really good. Do you have to use the white rum or I know there's like white rum and brown rum. Oh, okay. Joey can't drop links on the phone. It's totally okay. JJ got it for us. And then you also put some simple syrup. I just jumped back and forth there. Sorry. So that actually sounds really good. I think that might be something to use, but I just don't know if it has to be dark white or if it matters at all. White rum. Renee, how do you know that? Okay. I'm going to be definitely checking that out. That sounds good. We'll have to go get some rum. And let's see here, Joey. Oh, Suburban Hillbilly. Neuropathy in your feet. I have that too, and it is creepy. Super, super creepy. And I have still not tried kombucha. And I know there are channels out there making it, and it looks so tasty. But it also looks like an awful lot of work. And the best we can manage is vinegar around here, which we do every single year with some homegrown apples, and pomegranate hooch, which we need to either gift or do something with it because we have like 3.5 gallons and we haven't had any since the day that we put it in the bottles. And yes, Yes, I think that sounds delicious too. Could we have a mojito with monkey bread, or is that just going a little too far? Yeah, that might be a little bit of a sugar rush that we don't need, right? Agreed. Agreed. I am afraid to jump in my pool in the summertime, or to step down into it because I'm afraid of falling. Are yours, just out of curiosity? Sorry, guys, I'm going to get a little personal. Do you have like a cold feeling, like a cold tingling feeling, or do you have that hot feeling? Because mine feel like when you sit crisscross applesauce and then you stand up and your feet are asleep and then they start waking up. That's what mine feel like. And it's a very odd sensation. But I'm going to be changing my diet, and I hope that that is going to make a difference. Yeah, I think she should be. Oh, you're in on, wait a minute. Ginger's in on the mojito. Okay, I'm picking up on it now. Mojitos with the monkey bread. We're going to have a meetup somewhere. And I guess it's going to have to be in, let's see, to accommodate everybody, Kansas. Anybody have a place in Kansas that we could crash? Hey, Cindy, how you doing? We've gone from honesty to gardens to mojitos and a little bit of not beekeeping. Oh, good gravy, you guys. You know what? I was at the grocery store, Derek, the other day, and I was going to, actually, I wanted to go get a bottle of wine. And so before you get to the wine in this particular store, there's the other stuff. And they actually had Jim Beam and Coke, no, Jack and Coke in cans in the grocery store. And I didn't know that was a thing. It's pretty interesting. Yes, I have family in Indiana as well. Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I am so sorry about that, because if you've never had that, you guys, it is nuts. Blue. Blue's gonna hop on a plane and come on over. Hey, Blue, while you're in here, I'm gonna talk about this because I was just talking about diet and neuropathy and other little things. Um, I just got a book today from Anne and let's see, Anne Esselstyn and her daughter, and it's from the Forks Over Knives series. And you guys, the recipes, these are all plant-based recipes, and they are amazing. It must be very warm in Britain right now if a mojito is tempting right now. Yes, and I think you're probably right. If we're all old enough to remember Bartles and James, I think that was like wood alcohol or something. It was like grain alcohol and flavoring or something. It was hilarious. Um, oh, good. Okay, Blue, do you see that? If you'll visit here, you can have mojitos all day long in Georgia. That would be kind of nice, wouldn't it? Um, let's see. Anyway, the plant-based stuff, I do want to talk about that. So Blue is doing plant-based, I think, for health. And and I'm starting plant-based. I think we're just gonna make the cut and go whole hog. It's the easiest way to go. And we've done it before. We did it for about 5 months one time. And then when I started doing chemotherapy, I wasn't able to eat, and I wasn't able to eat salad or anything at room temperature or colder. So that kind of nixed the whole idea of being plant-based, because everything would have had to have been cooked, which is okay, but I didn't think so much. I didn't think deeply enough into it to steam more broccoli and cook my kale and spinach and stuff like that. So, oh, thank you. And then, yeah, Blue, a cheat day is okay. I mean, you really have to allow yourself to do that. And don't think that salmon in my refrigerator is going to go to waste. I think I think I'm actually going to go ahead and be a little bit of a pescatarian with the whole food plant-based because I do like fish, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with those healthy fats. I'm just going to try and get wild caught only and not the farmed fish. And then in July, Renee at Pike Creek Farm and I are going to actually host a whole food plant-based collaboration. We are going to allow vegetable oils because some people are super, super strict and don't allow any oil at all. And we've talked about it, and that feels almost too strict. So really, if you just have an idea, if you have a recipe that doesn't include meat or meat products, it qualifies as, as an okay thing to do. So go ahead, and if you're interested, you could email me. JJ, could you put up a banner with our email address? Is that possible?
Not a banner.
Or whatever. Can you just put it into the thing for me? He's a really nice guy. Let us know if you're interested in it. We are going to be doing it by invitation. Let's see. What's the thing? Let me see. I'm going to pull this up. Yeah, exactly. You know what? We've been really backing off purchasing meat for quite a while. I got some good deals, but I'm making dog food for my dogs right now, and I do want them to have meat protein. So I'm freeze drying dog food. I just finished the chicken and rice, and I'm getting ready to start if I have to do it tonight, ground beef with beef broth and then rice and carrots and peas. They still get their kibble to make sure they get their vitamins. Thank you, JJ. But they really like it because it's people food. In fact, it is so people food that I tried it before I gave it to the dogs, and it is really tasty. All I'd have to do is add chicken broth to it and have chicken and rice soup. Annette, hello. Hi. And yeah, that's, so we're going to keep the meat around, and it's nice that we have it freeze dried. We have a medium harvest right. And so it has 4 trays, and I'm divvying up. We have small dogs, so I'm giving each one of them a half a cup of freeze dried food, rehydrated, every day, and then they free feed on kibble because thankfully they get along and they don't, we don't have an issue with that. So the 4 trays that I processed with the chicken soup, if you will, I got 3 weeks and 4 days worth of food. I'm sure I could make it so I get a month's worth of food. And then I'm going to put it into Mylar bags, and we'll just open it up, as needed. I'm thinking a week at a time is how I'm going to bag it up. But if you can find stuff on sale, and you trust it, I'm telling you what, you guys, I think it's a big money saver, because the kibble that my tiny dogs eat, it's like $53. And the bags used to be 40 pounds. Now they're like 32 pounds, and the price went up by $10. So I'm just trying to find a more sustainable way to feed my dogs food that I don't worry about having plastic contaminants and things like that in, because that's becoming an increasing problem too. Okay, so let's see. I have to go back here. Oh, you know what? I believe that. I truly believe that. And thankfully, our dog food that we have made is meat heavy. In fact, I've decided to back off of the rice for the ground beef one that I'm getting ready to make sure that they get a healthy amount of meat when they're eating. And then hopefully I can start incorporating like cottage cheese or something in there for them. And when we're plant-based, it's just going to be for the dogs. So that won't even be that expensive. Kelly, I believe that the actual patty would be considered plant-based, yes. But the refined flour and everything in the bun, not so much. I would almost say try and make your own burgers. The Impossible Did we try Impossible Burgers, JJ? They were just coming out when we were backing off a little bit.
I can't remember if we did or not.
Yeah. They're not bad. They're not bad, but I'm gonna try and make our own things like that. And
Because didn't we do that one with
I don't know if you guys could hear it or
mushrooms
not.
and all that stuff? I mean, we still need to do that, but
Yeah. We're gonna experiment a little bit with homemade burgers. There are a lot of good recipes out there. Excuse me, but I actually really like beans a lot and stuff. I don't need to mush them into a patty of any kind. The one thing that I have a hard time with, besides cheese, that's going to be a hard thing. However, I do have a really good source for a vegetarian cheese, and I will be, or not vegetarian, excuse me, but a plant-based cheese. So I'll be doing some experiments with those. And the other thing is hot dogs. I know hot dogs are not good for you, but I really like hot dogs a lot. So I'm going to be making, one of the first things I'll be making to share with you guys is going to be carrot hot dogs, because if you cook them just right, it actually has the same exact mouthfeel as a hot dog without any gristle, if you ever end up with that. And I highly recommend trying it. So I will be making that very shortly. And yes, everything in moderation. And Blue, I don't think I tried one. I don't think that it appealed to me very much. And Suburban Hillbilly was in foster and rescue for over 20 years. Thank you. Both of our dogs are, I'm looking over at Daisy Bell right now. She's so beautiful and sweet. Both of our dogs are rescues, and they're just the sweetest poochies ever. One I got from a rescued, we got her as soon as she was weaned from a rescued mama. And then the other one, I feel bad for him because he was with his family, and for whatever reason, they had to surrender him. And it broke my heart. But I mean, we give him so much love because his name's Leo, and he's a hoot. So I don't know where Leo is right now. Daisy's sitting on my lazy boy over there.
he's on it, but I'm sure.
Twice a year. Oh my God, I love chili dogs. Here in California, we have a place in Northern California called Wiener Schnitzel, and they make the bomb diggity chili dogs. And every time I drive by, I want to pull in, but I don't. So I want to try and make a chili that's like theirs, but then make chili dogs with the carrots. That'd be a lot of fun. Oh wow, I agree. You guys, if you have the Disney Channel, I don't even know if it's on there anymore. There was a video. It was one of their shorts, and I love watching their shorts. And this one was about a dog that was being abused, and I just cannot imagine how anybody could hurt an animal that is completely they're defenseless, right? I mean, how could you do that? Oh no. Oh God. We're gonna get a play-by-play on the monkey bread. Okay, let me see this right here. Okay. Okay. And do you mush them together? Because see, now for me, I would take the portobello mushroom, get rid of all the juice by maybe inverting it and pulling out the juice, and then take some black beans, maybe some of that black bean soup that Renee at Pike Creek Farm made, and putting it on, putting in the portobello mushroom and call it good. Just call it a day. Dawn, thank you so much. And let's see here. Let's see, what does Derek have? Oh, that is very cool, you guys. I love this community. It's so cool. Let me see here. And I would imagine that rescuers and also I think that Good night, Dawn. Thank you so much for coming in. And I want to say to everybody, thank you for coming in. Veterinarians must have an awfully high, I think they have a high suicide rate as well, because of just everything that they see. And of course, we don't see stuff like that. Well, Blue, are you going to be taking your stuff and, are you going to be making videos to show us how you make things like that? I've never really thought about putting the beans and mushrooms together, but mushrooms are so good. I think that'd be really cool. So that's a good hint. Thank you. I think I might even put a link to a couple of books that we really like. After we're done with this, I think JJ's out doing something in the yard right now. I reminded him that we needed to water. But I think that I just lost my entire train of thought. How do you like that? I think it'd be a lot of fun though to share these ideas for oh, Joey doesn't like mushrooms. Well, that's going to be a problem. You're going to be eating pork, buddy. Okay, good. It's fun that we're doing this all at the same time. JJ and I have been talking about doing plant-based for about 5 months, and it just takes commitment and honesty with yourself. We can leave it with that, but it takes a really big commitment because actually there's a lot of stuff in our house that is not going to fit into this lifestyle. Thankfully, with the exception of 2 fairly recent canning sessions of chicken products, we only tend to can vegetables. And we started doing it when I got cancer, and we didn't want to be eating all of the additives that they put into canned food, especially tomato sauce, because we eat a lot of tomato sauce, tomato paste, canned tomatoes, diced tomatoes. You can't can diced tomatoes, but you can them in halves, and then we just mush them up when we get them into whatever they're being put into. But that was a big deal. Hey, Teresa, thank you for stopping in. I'm going to see now Annie is in Australia. Yes, Annie, there's a struggle too. If you've got type 2 diabetes, you have to worry about the starch that you're putting into your body, right? So then that limits the vegetables you can eat, like, all of the beans where we get a lot of protein from. And so I've been listening to some podcasts as well about that, and doing some reading. And I think if you have 3 half-cup servings, if I'm wrong, let me know in the chat. 3 half-cup servings of dried beans, like black beans, pintos, kidneys, a week, that can give you a lot of the proteins that you need. So I am reading further on that because I don't want to spike my blood sugar. But I love beans, and that is one of it's kind of like I probably would choose beans over cheese, and I love cheese a lot. So that is a struggle if you're doing plant-based food, if you're fighting diabetes or heart disease, because walnuts are one of the best foods that we can eat. And if you have heart disease, I think they have a lot of fat in them. And again, anybody in chat, jump in if I am misspeaking, but I have been doing a lot of research. And in this book that I just got today, do you know where that book is, honey? I thought I brought it in here. The blue one. Anyway, I'll show it to you guys next week, or I'll drop a link in there. They on any recipe where there are walnuts, it says if you have heart disease, you can eliminate the walnuts. So it must be a fat issue, I think. Also, they said that if you have diabetes, not to add tahini, because they have a few recipes with tahini in it. So that also must make your blood sugar spike. So got to be careful, Oh, I have to put this up here because this is a very, very good feel good. Oh, that's very good. Very good. Leanne, hi, how are you? Oh, good. I'm glad that the Quilt Club president called you. That's awesome. Um, Leanne is a very, very gifted quilter, everybody. And if you haven't seen some of her work, it is absolutely amazing. And blue, yes, the whole wheat uh, meal. See, and then that's another thing that they call for is wheat germ the same as wheat whole wheat meal or no? But those are two of the things that I heard the other day were also recommended was flax meal and wheat germ to add those to like maybe steel cut oats or something in the morning. So I'm going to have a lot of fun with it, and I'll probably bring you guys along for some breakfast ideas and stuff like that at first, because that's going to be my biggest struggle. Don't like breakfast. And so I'm going to find things I do like that will keep me full and let me get out into the yard and do stuff. Oh, now we have a farmer here. Okay. So that probably doesn't have a whole lot of carbohydrates in it then, I hope. And einkorn, so anything we can find on the shelf. Yeah. So are you saying einkorn is okay? Because Mary's Nest uses einkorn and other ancient grains on her channel, and she recommends using einkorn all the time. So I'll be looking more into that as well. This has morphed into a really, really cool conversation, you guys. I honestly appreciate all of this, all these ideas. Kelly, I do not like to eat in the morning, and yet I have to take medication. I have never liked breakfast. When I was a child, my parents, who grew up in big families and they were poor, insisted that we have breakfast every morning. And we had one bathroom. So, what I would do is when we would have cereal and stuff, I'd wait for my dad to get into the shower and I'd run into the bathroom because we didn't have a disposal. And I would toss the Cheerios right on into that toilet and flush until they were gone. I didn't like it, at all. And it doesn't matter. I do like breakfast for dinner. I just don't like eating in the morning. Yeah, see, Teresa, I just don't have any desire to eat when I wake up. I'll drink the heck out of water. I will drink a quart of water before my feet hit the floor in the bedroom. But other than that, although I will tell you this, if you give me a bowl of chili, I'll eat that any time of day. And I don't need to have meat in it. Okay. So you're looking for einkorn. I think you can order it online, or maybe through like Azure Standard or one of those. I know Azure Standard delivers it if you have it in your area, and I think you do, Angela. Oh, okay. Here you go. There you go. I so relate to that. That is hilarious. Okay, you guys, this has been a real hoot, and I'm very committed to keeping our videos at 1 hour. I cannot tell all of you how much I appreciate all of you coming in and getting involved. I love seeing everybody saying hey to everybody else. It's very cool. Those of you who do not live in the States, I know that you are in here. You guys are in here at a very different time frame, and so I do appreciate your support. There you go, you guys. And we can get it here in California. We can get all of these things, and I love barley a lot. In fact, Leanne made a beef barley soup here not too long ago that really has me interested. It looks super good. So I think it's going to be fun to see what we all come up with, and get creative with it. But thank you all so very much for coming in. It is 6:00 my time, and I just want to say see you later, everybody. Thank you for coming to visit. Hope you got something out of this. Share with anybody you want to. And please remember, always, always, always be kind. Have a great night. Thank you.